This is Valentine TV. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all, I have been working on it during computer, trying to get on it. So my last video, I was attempting to do a story about oh Lord, sorry, Russell Brandon, Russell Brand out of London, accused of the SA and R in women, right? But I try to do it on my computer, so if you see it, no, I'm gonna have to do it this way because I need some help. If you see that video, please let me know how I can make my video play on the play once I get it in the YouTube studio. StreamYard Studio. I just need to know how to make it play and pause, play and pause, play and pause. That's it. Oh my god. So I'm just now, this is my first video for other day, y'all. But anyway, neither here nor there. I know y'all don't want to hear that. Okay, so let's start fresh. As you come in, please hit the subscribe button. I will be today's reaction is coming from The Truth Is. I love The Truth Is. And it's on YouTube. And he is talking about Kanye. You know, his neat thing is Kanye in danger after Akademiks interview. All right, y'all remember I recorded the whole video. Then I thought I might get a copyright or something. So I then took that thing down. But now I don't know. I wish I would have sort of left it up. Alright, but anyway, we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to let The Truth Is play, and I'll be back with my reaction. Oh, shoot, I guess I'll turn y'all around. Y'all, it's been so hot today, I can't get myself straight. Alright, here we go.
Kanye interview he did with DJ Akademiks. Let's get right into it. So there's been a few of you guys in the comments requesting that I talk about this interview. I really wasn't going to talk about it because I feel like everything that Kanye is doing right now seems oddly calculated for this album that he's about to drop. But so many of you guys were requesting it, and then like he said some things that did have me, it made me want to speak. It made me want to talk about it, specifically certain comments about artists in the music industry and how the record label uses them. So it kind of caught my interest, and I said, since you guys are requesting that I do it, so I said, you know what, let's talk about the interview. So for those that
And that's what Kanye wore the entire interview, y'all. The entire interview. North Carolina. Thank you, LB1. Y'all, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it so much. Wait a minute.
don't know, recently, Kanye West did an interview with DJ Akademiks, and once again, I set the internet on fire as nobody can stop talking about what he was wearing, which they're calling a Black Klan's outfit, and also some of the things he said. During the interview, he basically called out the music industry like he's been doing. He also called out Playboy Cardi. He called out Virgil, even though Virgil's not here. He called out Kim Kardashian, basically repeated what he said in the tweets about them trafficking and how they're taking advantage of his kids and all that. And one of the most important things he said, which he repeated twice during the interview, was that he's evil. He said this out of his own mouth. He had no issues with it. He said he was evil. And when Akademiks asked him to explain himself, he basically just says that he's evil again.
Why say Virgil actually passed? They always say sometimes, when someone passes away, can't be forbidden, it feels like you still have a little bit of animosity there. I'm evil.
Look.
You don't think about like his family and other people that love him?
I'm an evil person.
You don't think that? I feel like you've always represented God-fearing ideals, though.
Yeah.
So how does that? How could you identify God, a person?
God has the wrath. You only play with God for so long.
He also compared himself to the closest thing to Jesus Christ.
Y'all don't go to church? God is an angry God. God is a jealous God. What are you talking about? I'm the closest thing to God on earth, and I act just like how God acts.
Oh no. I know the truth is gonna let everybody know, but oh no. God is a jealous God, but God will never do what you do. Okay? And I'm gonna let the truth is because I know He can break it down better than me any day. Okay, well, not, I ain't gonna say any day, but today. He can break it down like y'all know. Okay? I'm just gonna let it go. Let it go.
Like I go up where people, whatever interview you did previous to the interview of this interview, I guarantee you it's going to be more of a blessing than the previous interview. So what did God do? Bless.
These are just some of the wild things he did in this interview. Now, one of the most concerning things he said was that he was leaving to Japan because he feared for his safety. And this is quite interesting because when he did this interview was the same day that he was tweeting out the stuff about Jay-Z's kids and tweeting all the stuff about Kim Kardashian and then claiming that while he was in the middle of going on this rant on Twitter, somebody knocked on his door and he was fearing his life. So towards the end of the interview, Kanye cuts it short and tells Akademiks that he has to leave and that he's going to Japan. Now, this is raising a lot of concern because people are wondering if Kanye is going to Japan because he's fearing for his safety, specifically due to the fact that he was saying that while he was tweeting these things, he felt that there was people at his door coming after him, and then he just goes off and leaves to Japan. So the question is Kanye being targeted? So Tradell, did you see the recent interview?
Yeah, I was definitely intrigued by it. You know, what's funny is that, you know, I was telling my son that I was about to, you know, do this podcast with you, and he says, "Are you guys going to talk about the black suit, you know, that Kanye had?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going to talk about that because it's, you know, it's really shocking that he's going to these extremes to, either for a publicity stunt, you know, like you said, it could be a publicity stunt." Or it can also be that he's into some other stuff as well. You know, like he's into some other beliefs, or he's into something. And you know, the interview was pretty shocking. You know, all the words and how he presented it. It was funny that he wasn't wearing the suit. You know, they played that part where he wasn't wearing the suit. I guess he wasn't even aware about the cameras were rolling at the time. And then, you know, then he threw the suit on and then, you know, started talking in his interview. But yeah, it was crazy.
That's important that you say that because it lets people know off the top. This suit is not something that he's actually walking around in because it's what he believes in or whatever. He's doing it for.
And then he had said that he wanted to, because I think asked him if he had worn the suit out before, and he said that he had planned on wearing it the day before that, but he said people probably would say stuff about it or something like that. But he had planned on wearing that darn suit out. And he did roll out. He stopped that darn interview cold turkey. They got on the elevator, all of that, y'all. I recorded all of that. I took it down. But anyway, here we go.
Or a public statement. That's the whole purpose of him wearing the suit. Now, my concerns is that regardless of what he is trying to implement or say for a reason of why he's wearing this suit, it's not something that he should be wearing because we all know that there's a lot of controversy, hate, and violence associated with that suit. And even I did a video a few months ago about Hitler and all the connections to the occult. So it's not like Hitler was against the occult or anything like that. You know, this is someone who also utilized it and carried it out in a massive scale and in a terrible way, you know?
The suit represents a lot of history. And he also mentioned that everybody's against him because he didn't want to agree with the way they wanted to do things for Kanye. So I don't know. It's really confusing what Kanye's talking about right now.
The first thing that I want to talk about for sure is the reason for this right now. Because realistically, historically, Kanye has shown us time and time again that this is a technique of his. Whenever he has a project coming out or something that he needs promotion for, he says the most controversial things he can come up with. Now, does that mean that everything he's saying is a lie? No. I think that some of the things he said are true and are important, but is the intentions of the reason that he's saying it that is concerning to me, because I know that he's not just doing this simply off the fact to inform or to, let the world know the truth. It seems like he's doing this to be able to manipulate his audience, to get them on his side, and to basically fight this battle with him, which is against the institution, the record label, which at the end of the day, if it's Kanye trying to bring change to the industry, that changes everything. That actually makes it positive, but it doesn't seem like that's his concern. His concern is solely about himself, how the record industry is doing him, how things are going for him, how it needs to be better for him. And there's a lot of things in this interview that rubbed me the wrong way, specifically when he said that he's the closest thing to Jesus. Kanye is not the closest thing to Jesus. He's actually the furthest thing from Jesus, when we see that in his actions all the time. Specifically, he was promoting an adult films site, and also his promotion of adult content on Twitter. If I'm not mistaken, that's something that happened recently, where he shared some adult content on Twitter. Is that true? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. But, obviously Kanye walks around with his wife, half naked.
They said that they're getting a...
And that is the total. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That's right. The truth is told. The truth, right? He is the furthest thing from God. Man. And people be trying to think it ain't. I'm going to call him Kanye. And that's it. Because y'all know what the other mean. And he is nowhere near Jesus. No. Alright?
divorce. Did you see that? Or that they're...
In my opinion, everybody. In my opinion.
Splitting up?
No, I haven't heard any of that. But he has been, traveling by himself a lot lately. He hasn't been with her ever since the Grammy situation. Kanye hasn't been with her.
Well, I'm not sure about that. What I am sure about is that, if I'm not mistaken, they're reporting on the media right now that Kanye and Bianca split and Kanye made a song for her. I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't really look into that because that's not really important to me. But back to my point, the reason that I consider Kanye a double agent, controlled opposition, playing both sides, is because this is what he does every time.
Yeah.
He comes off as, oh, I'm attacking the system. But then when you listen to why he's attacking the system, is because I'm God, because I'm the best, because everything needs to serve me, because I'm Kanye. Do you understand?
Absolutely. He did say that.
And he has a new album coming out, y'all. Yeah. Also. Hey, Sway Grade 274. What's up? Y'all, please hit that subscribe button. I'm up to 690. Yeah, I'm trying. But anyway, yeah. He is the furthest thing from Christ, y'all. I know that. For a fact.
Yeah, and it's not like he's saying, I want to change the system so that we can bring fairness to all artists and to make things better for all artists. No, he's saying, me. I'm not getting my way, and I'm going to use you guys to fight them, to make them.
Hey, y'all, who this sound like? This sound like Drake. Me. Me. Yeah. And y'all know Kanye is supposed to help Drake. He probably allegedly helped Drake with that video, even though they used Kendrick's stuff. But anywho, we ain't talking about Drake. We talking about Kanye right now, okay? But he is supposed to go help Drake. Now I did hear that. Now this is all my opinion, okay? Alright, here we go. Sorry about having to turn and turn.
Give in to what I want.
I think that Kanye is not providing any information either. I mean, as far as value, he's not telling, his audience or his people, hey, this is what you need to look out for. He's basically going after, people like Jay-Z and everybody else in the industry, putting their dirty laundry out there. And then he's talking about how, like you said, they're not working with him now, and he's sort of jealous in a way. Realistically, he's not giving anyone any type of information that is valuable to them. Like, the industry, you should look out for this going on, or nothing. He's just basically bad-mouthing and saying that he's just going to go on an outrage until he basically crashes out.
Kanye has been talking about Lucien Grange. If you know Lucien Grange, he's the head of Universal Music Group, the biggest record label in the world. Now, the problem is, Kanye has a picture of himself in between Lucien Grange and Lear Cohen. two big music executives, two people that he's basically been, exposing now. He was happy when they were supporting him on the way up. He had no issues with it because, like I said, he's always been a puppet since the beginning. He was in the music industry at a high level. But my problem is, like, for example, I wouldn't say that he isn't providing any information, but like he's not really teaching anything, and that's true. It is true. The one thing that I say that I caught my attention was the fact that he mentioned that the record labels don't want veteran artists to be popular as much as they want a new artist to be popular, because obviously they make more money off the new artists, and that's what Kanye was trying to say. They prioritize these upcoming artists and try to get them to that peak point where they're making as much money as possible, and then as they start becoming veteran artists that they're able to require more, have more leverage, they then start distancing themselves from them or trying to like lower their value. You understand?
Yeah, that's the issue with Playboy Cardi.
Exactly. But that's what I'm trying to say. In a way, that's completely true. Because the way these record labels are structured, if the artist is a new artist, they're going to get a horrible deal. The deal is going to be favoring the record label, 80% to the record label, 20% to the artist. And they're always going to be in debt because they're going to be living off advances. They're never going to really make money off their music. But when you get an artist like Kanye and Drake, who have already recouped in every way
There we go. I told y'all. He's on his way back to help him.
possible because they were ultra successful, the record labels lose the leverage of cash, because that's really what these artists want, right? If you're signing a deal, you need straight cash. But if the artist has already repaid the deal and then made an additional 10, 15 million and they don't need cash no more, the record label doesn't have that, oh, I'm gonna give you another bonus, I'm gonna give you another advance for 15 million, and now you owe us 15 million and we're gonna keep collecting money from you. The newer artists definitely have to pay up. They're always gonna have to give more money, while these veteran artists have more leverage. Their deal could be 50-50 or 60-40. You understand? Like someone like Drake is possibly getting 30 to 40%, which is insane amount. But there you see, they give Drake $400 million, and that's one thing he did. He brought up Drake as an example. What I think Kanye is trying to bring up with the Drake point is that Drake is being sacrificed by the labels. Like, I don't know if you saw my video, but I explained how the whole beef was used by UMG to basically offer Drake a lower value deal, because they were like, hey, you're not as valuable right now. You're being seen as a PDF file and all this stuff, right? But Drake is like, no, I'm not stupid. You guys set this up. Remember, Kendrick and Drake are both signed to UMG.
Yeah, for record sales and to boost that. And in the end, now they're trying to cut Drake short.
Exactly.
So how's Kanye playing into this? Because Kanye is aware.
I think Kanye is just trying to make the point that this is why the labels are doing what they're doing to me. Now, another thing, he did mention the Kim Kardashian situation, and Akademiks confronted him about it, which I think it was nice to see Akademiks question him on why did you have kids with her, and then why did you stay with her? Like, he has to take some accountability for that. If you thought that these people were traffickers, like you claim, and they're doing this to kids and that, why would you then have so many kids with them?
No, the relationship between Kim Kardashian and Kanye had a lot of controversy, and I think that boosted Kanye up as far as fame. People getting to know him out on that other side, like, hey, this guy is building a family, has kids. That image of Kanye, he was chasing that image so that his fan base, can accept him more. He could just be a different Kanye to the masses. He tried to hold that together for all he could. I remember, my wife used to watch those shows, and he wouldn't even want to be on the camera. He didn't want to be on the show as much. He just wanted to have the kids with her and everything. But in the end, I think Kanye does a lot of things for clout, for show.
I don't think their relationship was real. I don't think that Beyonce and Jay-Z's relationship is real either, in the sense, I'm not saying that they don't have kids with each other or have relationships with each other. That's not my point. But they both seem like strategic industry moves. Do you understand? At the moment, Kim was like the most popular woman in the world. Kanye was hot. He wanted the same look as Jay-Z and Beyonce. Even though you can't really compare Kim Kardashian to Beyonce, but that's how people were even referring.
No, you cannot compare at all. But yeah, I think it was Business move. And this is all my opinion. Yeah, business move. I mean, you can tell. I can tell. But I thought if somebody was to stay together for a while, they would grow on each other. But I don't know what they do behind the scenes. I do not know if they're together behind the scenes or not. I don't know. All right. So let's keep seeing what the truth is. He's breaking down Kanye's interview with Academics for us. Okay.
Into it as like this was his version of that. She's the most popular in pop culture. You know, I'm Kanye, the hottest artist in the world. We put us together. Now we double our exposure. We get more traffic in. We have some kids, make it a whole lot, a little family. People buy into it.
And I agree because Kim Kardashian is all about that.
Exactly my point. That's how I saw it. Same thing with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I think it was a money play. Because even if you think about the ages and the fact that these people barely see each other.
Right.
When you're a celebrity like Beyonce and Jay-Z, you think that they're sleeping together every night? You think they're in the same house every day?
No.
You know, they probably see each other once in a while.
Yeah.
These are industry relationships.
Yeah, that's true. They try to hold them together because, you know, I think as far as Jay-Z and Beyonce, they've tried to hold it together because of how big of an empire they've amassed.
Exactly. They're the power couple.
Like,
It's the queen and the king of hip-hop. And in reality, these are just people that all they care about is serving the people that give them the check. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Kanye and Kim Kardashian were the king and queen of pop culture.
100%. Now, the most important thing we need to talk about, and this is what this video is one of the main reasons as well that I felt like this video should be done. We heard Kanye was basically running away to Japan. During the middle of the interview or during the end of the interview, he tells Academics that he has to go, that he's leaving to Japan. He even tells Academics to come with him. Now, remember, this interview took place right after he did all those tweets. Remember when he tweeted free?
Yeah, he did all these tweets. Man.
Diddy and the stuff about Jay-Z's kids. And then he said that he heard a knock on the door and that they were like basically threatening him. So did Kanye leave to Japan for his safety, or is it just another play? That's what my question is. And if it's getting to that point, then I might have to start looking at the situation differently. I'm not going to say Kanye is on our side, but maybe he's on no one's side right now and he's just made himself a target, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that what he spoke about in the interview is a lot of the things that you mentioned, a lot of the actual factual statements that you've made on this channel. And I think that him going to Japan is really far away from any influence he may have here in the United States.
I don't think Kanye's on our side. I still think Kanye is controlled opposition.
Yeah,
his statements against Jay-Z, I don't think Jay-Z appreciated that. You know, I don't think Jay-Z was happy to see that. And then also the whole outfit, the chain, the other tweets that he's made, I think that he probably does think that they might come after him now.
Yeah.
And like he said this so many times before, but Kanye is someone that's so big, he's not someone you could miss. Wherever Kanye's at, you're gonna know Kanye's there. You understand my point? So like if they wanted him gone before, but he didn't take it to this level.
Well, maybe Kanye has gone rogue.
Or like I was saying, like maybe it's MK Ultra. Maybe he's going through some stuff, or maybe he's having a breakdown. Maybe he's not thinking clearly, because like I've said, Kanye himself has claimed that he's a victim of MK Ultra. Not once, but twice. He's done said this.
What happened to me, and they took it too far. It's like American History X. Like my head was on the side of the curve, and the exact people that I called out kicked my head. We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra. We found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, actually working on psyops.
Who's this
in the
guy?
Canadian military. This is Harley Pash.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look.
They would have Michael Jackson.
Or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. You can see there's not much of her left.
Now, in this interview, Did he
Wow.
not? Did he not repeat again that his mom was taken from him?
Yeah, absolutely.
He said this out of his own mouth.
And didn't his mom die in a surgery?
His mom died mysteriously. Yes, it was after surgery. She got surgery.
Yeah, I did a video on his mom, and yeah, I think I would advise y'all to go see it. Yes, I did, and you would love it. I did it really great. Okay, yeah. If I have to say so myself, for Kanye to help him, I think it'll help him if he ever sees it. One day I might be big enough, or he may come down to my level and watch it. Anyway, we'll see.
She was supposed to be being watched by an uncle, and then she passed away because they didn't watch her. But the problem is, even before Kanye said this in the interview that he did, he had said a while, like this was like 2017, 2016. An interviewer asked him, hey, what was your biggest sacrifice to get here? And he said his mother.
Yeah, you gotta put it on there. I gotta see that.
He literally said this all the way back then. And then he repeated it in the conversation in the car. And now he's telling us that they took his mother. From what I know, I don't think that they took his mother. I think that he offered his mother. But that's just my opinion. According to him, they took it. I know I've seen a lot of people say that he's not saying that he personally sacrificed her. But when they asked him what was his biggest sacrifice and he mentions his mother, that seems like him confessing, and it's something that he keeps bringing up.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those deals that he probably made, and then it didn't turn out to be what they promised it would be. So then that's when he flipped it and say they took her. But they didn't hold up to probably their end of the bargain, or maybe it wasn't what he signed up for. And like you said, Kanye is not being himself either. He's just not being himself. This is not, this is like the 10th level times 100, if you can say, of what Kanye has been doing in the past. This is the next level. To his iced out chain that he's rocking right now with the symbol, and then his outfit. His outfit that he wore on a public interview. He knew that was gonna go out, and the right people were gonna watch it. DJ Akademiks, a lot of people in the hip hop industry are gonna watch that. So that was his main reason for putting on the suit, setting up the living room, making sure that it's played out correctly, because it was played out. If you look at the interview, Kanye played that whole thing out.
Number one, the fact that he's running around with Akademiks is always showing that he serves anything. His relationship with Kanye right now isn't because he likes Kanye, because he's called out Kanye for a lot of the stuff he said. But he's using him right now the same way Kanye's using him. Kanye needs marketing. Akademiks needs, that next cosign. The views, yes, but it's the cosign from him being able to say, I got an interview from Kanye as an independent media personality. But my biggest thing, my biggest concern, and it's what I have to identify. What is Kanye doing with all of this? Is he trying to go to war with the industry? Is he just trying to use his fans to sell more records and make money? Is he truly in fear for his life after what he said? Or is all of this just another play by the industry? Is the industry just making Kanye the villain that everybody wants? The villain that's going to face the industry and stick it to the man? For all we know, this could all be a play by the very industry that he claims he's calling out. That's what I believe. That's where I'm teetering in. I mean, this is all a play. This is all something done, because Masons, we have to remember, the Freemasons, they do ceremonial rituals where someone plays the villain, someone plays the hero. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I saw that play you showed me.
Exactly. So this is the same thing. That was just a play. That's not a ritual.
Wow.
But there's literal rituals that they have. Like, if I'm not mistaken, either the second or the third degree, they do a ritual where there's two people that play the villain. And he also, in the Bohemian Grove, remember when Ryan Garcia spoke about the Bohemian Grove?
Yeah.
Then the Bohemian Grove, they have a play where one of the members played the giant evil owl. Do you understand? So they always have both roles. In my opinion, is either Kanye is making himself a target, or Kanye is just playing the role that they want him to play. And I'm leaning on it being the role. I don't think that he's really in danger, but there's a possibility that I'm wrong. I want to know what you guys think below. I want to know if you guys think that this is just Kanye doing what Kanye's being told to do, or some sort of MK Ultra being done on him, or is Kanye really going to war with the industry? And if that's the case, his life might be in danger realistically.
Yeah, and do you guys really think that Kanye went to Japan?
I think he has. He's been in Japan before. I was doing a little bit of research on that, and
Let's see. Exclusive. Kanye West finally seen reuniting with his children during a trip to 7-Eleven in Tokyo. And that was January, January 14th, 2025. What?
Said that he was living in Japan. He came back at the beginning of the year. So
Has he posted anything since this interview?
he just did a live stream again with
Yeah,
Academics.
I
He was
seen
on
that.
there yesterday, the day before yesterday, and him and Academics did this live stream, and he
Yeah.
was showing off some new songs from his new project. That's the thing that everyone has to understand. So the fact that this is attached to a new project, it kind of defeats the purpose. I'm only gonna believe Kanye when I see Kanye doing this when it's not about an album. Do you understand?
Yeah, I think for Kanye, it's always going to be about something. It's either going to be about a shirt, just like how he did with his Super Bowl commercial. It's always going to be about something for Kanye's game. He's a marketing guy.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I want to know what you guys think below. Let me know in the comment section if you think this is a part of the role or Kanye is really speaking against the industry. And I want you to tell me why you think that. I'm going to be reading the comments. From everything that I've seen from Kanye, I think that he's playing us. I think he's playing
Sorry.
all of us and using us for his advantage to be able to get what he wants, whether it's money from these more record sales or just to use us as leverage against the industry to get what he wants. But I don't think that he's truly on our side. I want to know what you guys think below.
Thank y'all for watching this with me. I hope some of y'all hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it so very much. And if you liked a little bit of the content, y'all please hit the like button. I see a couple. I see y'all. Thank you so much. And I will talk to y'all later. Okay? I love y'all. All right. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye.